Carmentary. What's up, everybody? Neil here with you. Thought I would record a little Carmentary as I'm on my way home. I don't have a really pressing topic to talk about, but I have an interesting kind of tourism-related topic I will talk about. But it's just so beautiful on this spectacular drive. I am heading west. You can look at the sunset here. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see all the mountains up there in the distance. Eniwa-dake, Sapporo-dake, all the big mountains there. So you can enjoy the sunset at least and listen to me ramble here for a little bit. The latest thing I'm seeing in the news, I got it right here. More Japan tourist hotspots imposing hotel taxes to fund promotions. I'll read that again, because I think it's important. More Japan tourist hotspots imposing hotel taxes to fund promotions. So this has kind of been in the news recently. Some places, Kuchan, the city where the popular ski resort Niseko resides, they've already got some kind of a hotel tax, and I think they may either be raising it or imposing something new. I believe Hokkaido as a whole has either okayed it or they're debating it or something, but it sounds like there's going to be like these new hotel taxes coming into effect, and it's kind of up to the local municipality to decide whether it's a percentage thing. Niseko, I believe, is like on a 2%. So 2% of whatever the cost of the room is, you pay an extra tax. So if the hotel sets it at $1,000 a night, they add 2% of that on top and give that to the government. So you have that. In Japan, by the way, there's also a hot springs tax. 150 yen per person who uses the hot springs or stays in a hotel that has a hot springs. And they add that onto your bill as well. And that is given to the government hot springs tax. But anyway, this hotel tax, some areas have a flat fee. And I read in this article that Kyoto, the famous town there in the Kansai region, Kyoto, has a flat fee of 1,000 yen per room, regardless of the price. They're just like, we don't care. If the room's 1,000 yen, you add 1,000 yen to it, make it 2,000 yen. We don't care. So some areas go with that. Some areas go with a percentage. Obviously, tourists are affected by this, but I think when you're in travel mode and you go somewhere, you're just like, whatever, you just book the room. You're not looking at the details. Right now, the yen is so weak that if you're coming from pretty much any country, especially if you're coming with dollars, you're getting a discount on everything anyway. So at this point, people are not so concerned about an extra 2% on their room. And if you're wealthy enough to afford $1,000 a night, or in Niseko up to $40,000 a night, yeah, big deal. You're going to be like, whatever, throw it on there. So that's one thing, but it does affect the local population as well. I don't think there's any way for the local citizens to get out of it by saying, oh, I'm a local, I don't need to pay the tax. Now that would be nice. So the taxes kind of affect everybody. But I think the main point that I kind of take offense at is the imposing hotel taxes to fund promotions. I don't know about that. Okay. So the government does all these videos and ad campaigns, and they go to these tourism trade shows, and they do all these, they have big parties at the embassies, and they get everybody hyped up, and Japan, come to Japan. Okay, yeah, sure, it's great, it works, people are coming, tourism is increasing and has been, it's doing good, and I guess, yeah, the hotels are happy because it it keeps the loop going. More people come, the rooms get sold out. It's good. But it would be nice to see some of that money, a large chunk of that money, half of that money or even more, put back into like making things better. You know, like better parking lots, better parks, better cycling roads, better, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that you could do to make the place itself better, rather than just like going straight to the marketing department. I feel that's kind of what's happening in Japan a lot now. It's sort of like, you know, you get a taste of like a good thing. You're like, ooh, people come, they spend money, this is awesome, let's get more of it. More promotion, more advertisements, more of those influencers, bring the influencers, let them do their thing. Yeah, that's nice, but it just sort of, everything just gets more crowded. You know, maybe the rental car companies are doing great, some hotels are doing great. Everybody else is kind of like, yeah, there's just a lot more people, but nothing's really better. I think you need to kind of keep that city maintenance, you know, like upkeep of obviously things like bridges and just roads and basic stuff needs to be kept in great condition. And Japan does an incredible job of, you know, looking after their infrastructure. I think that if there's one thing that Japan's good at, you know, they put money into it, keep the roads clean, and everything is, you know, you don't worry about bridges falling down. We had a tunnel collapse, it was quite a few years ago. There's things that happen, but in general, they keep it good. But just general like improvements, especially in stuff that's more like tourism and sort of like, you know, fun activity related stuff, you know, especially like parks. Or where I live is a small hot springs onsen town, and it's exactly the kind of place where you need to have like some great free parking where people can park and then wander around the town. You know, having like, you know, like great parks or some kind of facility where people can go with their family and kids can have fun. And, you know, a lot of that stuff can be private business, but it needs to be done in collaboration with maybe some government grants or some kind of funding, or, you know, yeah, there's sort of a mix there. And those are the kind of things that seem to get pushed off into the future, you know, like, oh, we'll get to that eventually. Right now, we're putting the money back into the promotion. We just want to get the people over here. So, I thought I would mention that. Let me know what you think. Let me know if a hotel tax is going to, you know, affect you or influence you in your decision making on where to stay. Obviously, it can add up. You know, 1,000 yen a night. Let's say it was a flat rate. You stay 10 days. That's $1,000. You know, I mean, excuse me, that's $100. I just went a little high there. So yeah, you know, it can definitely add up. A lot of people take these really long trips here to Japan, and you know, it may force some people to start looking for more economic budget options. By the way, what do you call it? The Airbnb type home rental scene is sort of it's back on its feet. The pandemic really kind of killed it here in Japan for a long time, and a lot of people gave up on their business and threw in the towel. But it seems to be coming back strong. But in general, prices are kind of low. If you're looking for a bargain, I think right now the Airbnb or similar service, you might want to check on that, because I've been doing some research recently and I'm getting back into it myself with a unit in Jozanke where we live, and I was looking at the average prices or the recommended prices, and I was like, ooh, it's kind of low. I was hoping that the prices would be a little higher myself, obviously, but prices were quite reasonable, a little on the low end. So that's just sort of anecdotal, but it might be worth looking into that if you're looking for a cheap place to stay. All right, that was my topic for today. We'll take one more look at this beautiful sunset here for you. There you go. Great time of year right now. By the way, it is 5:36 p.m. and the days are getting longer. We've passed the vernal equinox. We are into spring, and Hokkaido at this time of year is pretty spectacular when we get these really nice high pressure like this. Gorgeous clear skies all day today. It was absolutely fantastic. And this is that time of year where if you're into skiing and snowboarding, people tend to head towards central Hokkaido, Asahidake, Kurodake, some of the higher mountains there. And after a day of skiing and snowboarding, you tend to, make this drive back to Sapporo. You're heading west, driving into the sunset, and it's really, really nice. It's definitely one of my favorite things about Hokkaido, actually. If you're based out of Sapporo, you tend to drive back around this time of day, and when the weather's nice, you really enjoy finishing off your day with a gorgeous sunset like this. So thought I'd share that with you. Alrighty, just let it roll here for a couple minutes. Well, the sun just kind of went behind that cloud bank there to the west. That was nice. Really enjoyed that. Drive safe.